Imagine living in a space that costs less than the latest smartphone you've been eyeing. Yes, you heard that right. Tiny homes are becoming the future of affordable living, and in some cases, they cost less than the phone in your pocket. But how can this be possible? Let's dive into the details. Tiny homes, by design, are compact living spaces that prioritize functionality and efficiency. You might think, how could a whole home, something with a kitchen, bathroom, and living space, cost less than a phone? Well, the answer lies in their size, materials, and the way they're built. The average smartphone today can cost anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on the brand and features. Now compare that to the price of a tiny home. While prices vary, a basic tiny home can range from $10,000 to $50,000. But here's where the magic happens. A tiny home can last for decades, and it's not tied to monthly rent or expensive mortgage payments. When you factor in the cost of rent, utilities, and the long-term investment of owning a tiny home, it actually starts to make more sense financially. Let's break down the costs. If you're living in an apartment, you're probably paying hundreds of dollars per month, maybe even thousands, depending on where you live. That adds up quickly. Over the span of a year, you might end up spending more than the cost of a tiny home. And over 5, 10, or even 20 years, that rent can easily surpass the cost of owning a tiny home outright. But here's the interesting part. Tiny homes are often built using alternative materials, which can make them much cheaper to construct than traditional homes. For example, many tiny homes are built using reclaimed wood, sustainable materials, and eco-friendly technologies. This cuts down on the cost of materials, and also makes them more energy efficient. Another reason tiny homes are so affordable is their size. The smaller the space, the fewer materials you need, the less time it takes to build, and the less you have to spend on utilities. You don't need a huge yard to maintain, and your energy bills are typically a fraction of what you'd pay in a regular home or apartment. But how are people actually making this work in real life? Tiny homes are gaining traction with people who want to escape the cycle of rent and mortgage payments. Many individuals are turning to tiny home communities, or even just placing these homes on family land or in rural areas. There's a growing trend of people downsizing and embracing minimalism, which makes the tiny home lifestyle even more appealing. Let's talk about the environmental benefits as well. Building a tiny home uses far fewer resources than constructing a traditional house. You're not just saving money, you're also reducing your carbon footprint. From the materials to the energy-efficient appliances, tiny homes offer a sustainable way of living that fits in with a greener lifestyle. Now, let's address a common concern. What about the lack of space? Sure, tiny homes are small, but they're designed to make the most out of every inch. The clever use of multifunctional furniture, hidden storage spaces, and efficient layouts means that you're not sacrificing comfort for affordability. But it's not just about the space inside your home. Tiny homes are often mobile,